Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money.
Jamona. Okay. Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, y'all, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Today's story is wild. A TikTok influencer has been ordered to pay $1.75 million to her manager's ex-wife for allegedly contributing to the end of their marriage. So today, y'all, we're talking about betrayal, boundaries, and the bag. And also whether women should be held financially responsible for the breakup of homes. So today I have my queen here, Miss Mary Dean in the house. Sister Mary Dean, she's our lawyer and our expert. And she is also the owner of blackwallstreet.com. Our hostess with the mostest, Lala, is out today. So it's just you and me, sis. We got this. We're going to hold it down. And also today, guys, our show is short because our producer is traveling. So, Mary Dean, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm here for it. I am. You know why? Because in 2025, with everybody being so open-minded, with so many types of different everybody have so many, there's polyamorous, there's polygamy, there's so many different rules and situations and stuff out there that people can get with. So I don't understand why anybody has to be lying and untruthful in their relationship. Right. Yeah. So if you're lying to your partner and sneaking around with someone else and that person persuades you to leave, I think that you should pay the consequences for that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think that you should pay the consequences. I don't think people should be playing around with you. Okay. They need to leave people alone and be truthful and straight up. Anywho, Mary Dean, what's the most scandalous thing you're seeing on social media today or lately? The most scandalous thing besides this story.
Well, you know what's going on with these Epstein's files and Trump. That's pretty scandalous, because I think he ran on for the idiots that did vote for him. I think it was all about him draining the swamp and saving the children. I remember that coming up. And so for him to come out as being a party named in the Epstein files and all of the videos and pictures floating around on the internet with him with clearly baby girls.
Okay.
That's the scandal. That's the real tea.
That's the latest one. Yeah. So this here situation with this girl, let me tell you something. It just solidified that the new celebrities are these influencers. Those are the new celebrities now, straight up. But this story is really, really sad because, this one woman who lost her husband to her supposed friend sued her and won in court. Okay. Don't play. Now, let me ask you, Mary Dean, do you trust your partner having close friends with the opposite sex?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they well, it's tricky. Mm-hmm. It's tricky. I just think it's tricky because one shout out to I think his name one of my I call him Big Brother on the internet who does all these videos about dating and how people are showing up in the dating world, and he just flat out no. Men and women, not men are dogs, okay?
Yeah. A lot of people feel that way, like no.
Men are dogs. And any guy that has just been a friend to me and been a friend only is because I would not allow him to be nothing more. They were friend zoned. And so Unless he was a gay man.
Oh, child, please, you have to watch out for them too. They like coochie.
Even it's true.
Some of them like coochie.
I don't,
But
why do you
yeah.
need all these other friends? You got friends, I got friends too. That's all I'm gonna say about
Yeah,
that.
Steve Harvey, he's a big component of not having the friends with the opposite sex. He is like straight up against it. He feels that men and women cannot be friends. But y'all, we're going to go to a quick video. Producer, roll that video.
A modern-day Montague feud gone viral.
And it was nothing.
North Carolina TikToker Brene Kennard ordered to pay $1.75 million after a jury found her liable for having an affair with her manager, Tim Montague, characterized under North Carolina law as criminal conversation and alienation of affection. Montague's ex-wife, Akira, suing Kennard for her deliberate interference in the marriage, including wrongful and malicious acts, saying in a court filing Kennard engaged in behavior designed to seduce him. The plaintiff's attorneys presented evidence, including sexual videos and texts, a video of Kennard dancing in the couple's home. They argued the TikToker, who had millions of followers, flaunted their relationship on social media. Akira Montague saying as a result of Kennard's actions, she has suffered humiliation, mental and emotional anguish, and injury to her health, adding their actions deprived their two young children of a two-parent household. But Kennard argues she had Montague's consent. Kennard now calling herself Mrs. Montague, saying the couple are married, though NBC News couldn't find any legal documentation supporting that claim.
Wow. Okay, Mary, you are the lawyer in the house. You are the expert. Okay. Would you ever sue someone for breaking up your marriage?
Well, before I can even answer that, you have to keep in mind that this lawsuit, this what we call them in my profession, causes of action, are only allowed in 6 states. So you got Hawaii, Mississippi, New Mexico, North Carolina, South Dakota, and Utah. So if you don't live in one of those states, you can't even think about doing that.
Yeah.
It's not even an option for you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they just have to live in one of those states. So
you know what? We putting the onus on the person who cheated with the spouse. What about the spouse that cheated? No one is holding them accountable. Like, can you sue your spouse for breaking up the vows?
Well, that's called a divorce. That's what that's called.
Yeah,
it's called a divorce and him being at fault for the breakup of the marriage. A divorce is a lawsuit. You know, I've been practicing family law, was the longest area law that I've been practicing for 19 years. And so one of the first things that was surprising to me is if you file a lawsuit in court, it is a lawsuit. And so just because a divorce is a type of lawsuit, you are suing the other spouse for divorce.
Damn. You know what I'm thinking? Because I know influencers make good money now. You know, a lot of them are millionaires and things of that nature. But I mean, $1.75 million, girl. I think she wiped out this woman's whole entire bank account and assets and everything else that goes along with it, because that is crazy. But anywho,
and he just
he said, what's that?
Well, his dusty self.
Girl, yeah, right?
You ever heard the term gay for pay?
Yes. Well, you think he's gay for pay?
I don't think I'm not saying gay, but clearly, not to say, you know, all women and beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. But when you look at that story, between the wife that he married and the woman that she lost him to, you can clearly see that he was not with her for her beauty.
Okay, I got you. Well, I personally don't think that there's anything wrong with her, or but yeah. I don't, girl. Girl, that's it.
No, I mean, okay, just a big girl. No one likes big girls, and I mean, I say this honestly because I was a fat kid in high school.
I was chunky and cute when I was extra cute when I was extra big.
I lost all my weight before going to college. So I'm here to tell you, from a former fat girl to a current fine girl, doesn't nobody like no fat chicks.
Yeah. So basically what you're trying to say is that she utilized her influence as an influencer and her popularity, because this girl had like 2.9 million followers on across the social media platforms. So you're saying that she utilized that in order to lure him in, because she did have him on videos and things like that of that nature. So
her money, her celebrity, he became famous when he got with her.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to the point, and that was more attractive to him than his wife and children. It would be different if it was just the wife, but he left his children.
That's another thing. Yeah.
And he should be held accountable too, but that's called a divorce. He really ain't got no assets outside of her. So the wife suing the woman that took her man, I guess, was her opportunity for her biggest payday. What's she gonna get from her husband?
Not a damn thing.
Child support.
Yeah. So they said that when they went to court, this woman had thousands and thousands of like pieces of evidence showing that this Brene alienated her husband from the wife. I have to get the wife's name, Akira. Let me use their names, Akira. So Akira had thousands of pieces of evidence that Brene took her husband. And also what I'm understanding too is Akira and Brene, they were friends in high school, girl. Yeah, they were friends in high school. And supposedly her husband, Mr. Montague, his family didn't like Brene. They didn't like her. So they broke up. And then he married Akira, but then they supposedly rekindled their relationship.
Oh, he was hers first?
So they say. Yes, so they say. Mm-hmm. So this whole entire case has a lot of layers to it.
Oh, well, like that, I think that's a little different. And I would, you know, if I had him first and then you went behind me and got him and then I got him back, I don't know. I think she might need to appeal that judgment.
So yeah, they were friends. And I think that Akira went to Brene and was like talking to her about some of their problems that they were having in the relationship. And Brene used that information and took her husband from her. That's what happened.
I stole him from you. Why would I confide in you about him?
Yeah, that is true.
That was smart right there. I'm gonna come to you, and I done took your man. Of course, I would assume you waiting in the bushes.
With the knife.
I wouldn't play like that. You would not. You would be the last person I would be talking my business to when I took your man. But exactly. that's another layer that I don't think is people are talking about. Mm-hmm. And I want, you know what? And I'm gonna say this: that girl went to court without an attorney because that's part of probably why she lost.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Why would she do something like that? Maybe she thought the whole case was a joke. That's another thing.
She didn't take it serious. She obviously had money and chose not to hire an attorney. She didn't think this woman was going to go in there and get some money because I stole her husband. She didn't take it serious. And so she went in. Akira was supposed to have been her social media manager. Ooh.
Yep. Also I think her husband was her husband. Girl, that's sick. That is sick.
Okay, so now you violated.
She was her social media manager, and then I think Brene was confiding. Well, not Brene, but Akira was confiding to Brene her marriage troubles, and then that's what happened. But guys, we're going to take a break, a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Commercial. Commercial. Producer, where are you?
It's a good show right here, but I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to FlyNubianMoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to FlyNubianMoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with FlyNubianMoney.com.
So those who are confused on the Brene case, let me break it down for y'all. Basically, Brene married her crush's cousin to get closer to her crush. Her crush name is Tim. Her husband name was Devin. Akira was Tim's wife. Okay, y'all got that? They all grew up together. They went to high school together. Now, Brene also has a twin sister named Corinne, and she also plays a role in this situation. Track it back to high school. Basically, Brene dated Tim back when they were really, really young. Mind y'all, Tim was Brene's first love. Tim's family never liked Brene, so Tim ended up breaking it off with Brene. Now, circling back to the twin sister Corinne. Corinne and Brene fell out and had a lot of beef in high school because Corinne basically slept with Tim after Brene and Tim broke up. Basically, Brene was a 304. And so Tim ended up putting his cousin Devin on Brene because Brene was going and Devin was a virgin and he wanted to lose his V. Before everyone graduated, Akira and Tim ended up getting together, and Akira was basically Tim's new girlfriend. Granted, Brene, Devin, they don't hang out with Akira. They don't really know Akira like that. She's just the new girlfriend. Tim went off to play college football on a scholarship while Akira basically held the relationship down. Not too long after, Akira ends up getting pregnant and they end up getting married in 2018. Akira dropped out of school to be a wife, a mother, while Tim pursued his dreams of being an NFL player. Akira was working 2 jobs trying to support the family financially. Fast forward to 2021, Devin and Brene ends up getting married. This is how I met Devin and Brene because they were a TikTok couple, actually. So mind y'all, Brene and Devin is this God-fearing married couple. They're very Christian, go to church, listen to music, do couples content, all of that. So randomly they started hanging out with Tim and Akira, and they started doing like group activities, double dates, etc.
Wow. You see that? You see all that mess? Just a mess.
I needed a pen and paper. I was really trying to.
I was trying to follow too, because I'm like, just nonsense. But anyway, what we do know is this: Akira and Brene were friends. Okay, that friendship turned into some type of partnership or some type of business relationship. Akira overshared, and Brene took her man. So my question is, does oversharing open the door to temptation?
Yes. To thirsty.
Yeah, go ahead.
To thirsty people, you got to watch out for the thirst traps. You don't need to be talking to nobody but God about your personal issues. And if you want some feedback, or a counselor or, somebody like that, but giving your advice to these randos and everybody around you who have their own agenda is dangerous.
It is. I mean, I wouldn't even tell my personal business, like people on social media, for instance, because I know social media, everybody just put everything out on social media. People don't even know who I date up on that bitch, okay? Because I don't tell anybody anything about myself. People think I'm still single or have been single forever, you know what I'm saying? And because I don't put who I date on social media, nothing. If it's not pertaining to a little snippet of maybe a vacation or business related matters, you're not getting it out of me. So
you know what the meme says? When do you post pictures of your new man, of you and your new man?
Never.
When the photos come back from the wedding photographer.
Girl. Okay.
That's when you post a man.
That's the only time you post, okay?
Yeah, when the pictures
time you post.
Outside of that, you might get a pinky, a tip of the watch in the photo.
Okay.
But you're not
in recent times, since the whole explosion of Facebook and everything, we've seen a lot of relationships become rocky. Do you think social media has a hand in bringing about the demise of relationships? Or was there ever a crack in a relationship to begin with?
I'm going to go with B.
Gotcha.
You can blame if you break up and it's raining outside, you gonna blame the rain? If you break up and are you gonna no, your relationship is within your purview. Now, there's always going to be outside influences, whether it's on social media, whether it's in person, whether it's at the bar down the street. It's going to always be, depending on the year, the technology that's out there. You can't blame. Take some accountability for your own mistakes. Okay.
Yeah. Now I agree with that, because I feel that if it's a crack there already, social media is just going to make that crack bigger and wider. That's it. Okay. But if your relationship is really, 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 really strong, child, please, nothing can break it. Nothing can break it. So, you being a lawyer and all, sis, do you think that the courts, should they try cases like this? Is this a valuable case to try?
I like it. I like anything that
You you want to punish somebody.
I like anything that's going to help us keep society pure. And so,
Thank you. Yeah.
if it means if we're going to punish people for doing the wrong thing, I guess I'm always going to say, yeah, slap them on their wrist. That's what they get. Should behave yourself. So,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. That's what the legal system is for. And because you have an area of law called family law, we cannot say you can't say, well, I don't think the court should be interfering in families. Well, there would be no practice area of family law if we said something like that, right? There would be no divorce. There would be no child support cases. There would be no adoptions. There would be no estate planning, probating a will to say what assets go where. There would be no things like that coming in the courtroom if the court didn't have to say so what happens in your family.
Mm-hmm. So, Mary, you think that more states should have this law in place?
Do I think what?
More states should have this particular law in place.
I'm with it.
Because only 6 states have it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for
imagine
it.
If all 50 states have it.
Sue the side chicks. Sue the side chicks. No.
So the jury did find Brene responsible for harming the marriage. Again, the ex-wife received $1.75 million. I'm not sure how much Brene is worth. I do see her sometimes on social media. She comes across my feed sometimes. I'm doing all this. She's known for those crazy, crazy nails. Have you ever seen any of her videos, girl?
No. I can't say I want to. No.
Oh man. Yeah, just a mess.
She really seemed like a good person. I can't even, I shout out. I'm not trying to knock fat girls. Okay, so let me stop. But she don't even seem like a good person on the inside. She don't even seem like she just got a good heart. Because look, I'm an attractive female. And it's been a many once I know you attached, I'm not doing that.
Correct.
And there's so much, and look, you're single. You're like, I could be that thirsty if I want to be. But if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And so I don't want to.
Remember earlier we talked about Tim, the husband, and Brene having a past relationship. So because she had this past relationship with this man, do you think that factored in her cheating with him in the present?
I do,
and not just because of how she looked or her influence.
No, it was if he was my man first, if I had him once, I got him all the time. And so if he was my man first, he mine. And if you took him from me, if she would have had good counsel, she would have made those arguments. She would have actually countersued maybe because you stole him from me first. I had him first. And so I think that matters. I think the real reason why she lost her lawsuit is because she went in there without a lawyer. I think that's the bigger thing. I think it's headlines and it's catchy because the lawyer won, but she almost, I won't say she was a step above winning a lawsuit by default. Yeah. Default is what you win when nobody shows up and makes an answer at all. So you just automatically win. So she was one step above because the person showed up, but she showed up without a lawyer. She showed up pro se. She showed up on her own. She showed up not being able to file legal petitions like a legal attorney, not being able to make those legal arguments, or even with the knowledge of what to file and how to make the argument.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read a few comments from our audience. And Cog said people need to live a life with a sense of discretion. Folks are becoming open books, inviting chaos into their lives. I so agree with that. And social media just like almost eggs them on to be more fools. Okay. And Cog also said New York decriminalized any antiquated adultery law last year. But with stories like this, I don't mind the law being reinstated. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how many other states, and I'm going to look that up, how many other states took this law off the books. And if so, why? Why? So. So, another question we should ask: should friends be off limits in all situations? And this is with business, knowing your relationships and things of that nature. Should friends be off limits in all situations? Situations, knowing your business with your man, business related, etc., etc.
Should friends be off limits to know your business?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, that's not a real friend if I can't confide in you. I mean, but I think it's the wisdom of knowing that not everybody is your friend. And so you can't go around just confiding in anyone.
Call a friend. Right.
But people do business with people that they know, love, and trust. So we need to make these bonds and family relationships and friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so sad that, we live in a society where people are just doing these crazy things to each other and then have no qualms about it. They just walk away and act as if nothing happened. It's really, so you do have to watch your back. But I know definitely I'm not going to keep my friends out of my relationship or my business. I'm sorry. If I do consider you a true friend, I'm going to have that openness with you. Bottom line. So Latoya said it's called discipline. Married couples should always use it. Deborah said the law was taken off because the lawmakers were engaging in the acts. Girl, you ain't never lie. So, anywho, and Cox said some states took the law off the books because it was becoming too common. So the authorities felt this should be dealt with privately. And that is true. And I do think that some of the lawmakers too were engaging in some of this mess, so they took the law off. It's almost like the rape laws. They reduced the sentences of these rapists because they be doing half the raping and stuff like that. But we ain't going to talk about that. Anywho. So my next question to you, Mary, being a lawyer that you are, sis, okay? Should influencers protect themselves differently than the public? Because you have to think about it. And another question I wanted to ask was, if this girl didn't have no money, right, and she still took Akira's man, or she didn't have the fame money, because I don't know if she had money, but the fame, would Akira have taken her to court? That's the question. So should influencers protect themselves differently?
Yes. I'm going to say all business owners should protect themselves. Anybody that has something worth losing should protect yourself. And that's where you come with setting up your assets into a trust. Because let's say she had a trust already set up and she didn't own any money outright. The person can have a judgment against her, but they can only collect on what she actually has. So if all of her wealth is in there, or her bank account is actually known in that name of a trust, she would not, it wouldn't be, they call that asset protection. She wouldn't be able to come after it.
Right, exactly. And I don't know where our commercial is. Usually we take a commercial break right now, but I will say this, it is Friday. So in the spirit of Lala, we do boycotting on Fridays. We do not go to any stores or anything like that do not serve us or do not have our best interests at heart. And we also buy black. So that's something to think about today. Just wanted to put that in there.
Also, piggybacking that, we got the blackout coming up. I think it starts on November the 20th, the big blackout. I was going to post that today. The blackout. You guys, we got to do this. We have really knocked a dent in Target, and Target
got hit.
And they felt it. But I really like, and I saw a post this morning that said, why don't we take all of our money from Black Friday that we would normally spend for the holidays, and we should do something really big for Black History Month.
I think so. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I
The
think that we should.
blackity is black. Black History Month. Yeah.
That would be awesome, actually. That's something
It-
to think about. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yes, sis. So, anywho,
But
now
I will
that
say,
Mhm.
if anything didn't inspire you to get your butt on camera and cut that camera on, I will say, looking at the amount of wealth that she's amassed just from doing that, it says sometimes you go on, we can all put the camera on us all day long and do something, but
I know, right? Your little jig.
jiggy with it or something, because that's absurd. I mean, what she's been able to do with, and so that's interesting.
So, influencers are now the new entrepreneurs, okay? They're also the new celebrities, as I said before. Do you think this is going to kind of like hurt her brand? Whatever brand she has, I don't know what her brand is, but do you think this is going to hurt her brand?
Probably not. If anything, it probably helped her brand. They say, all publicity is good publicity. And so, because her brand, it'd be different if her brand was built on honor, integrity, and loyalty, and virtuous values, then yes. But that ain't what her brand seems like is. So people, y'all say her brand is quirky. It's all over the place, and so
I don't know what she does. All I know is that she does crazy nails, and then sometimes she do a get ready with me video.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't hurt. What it does is people who didn't know about her before, now they know. I'd never heard of her before. So now I will go check her out and see who she is. So that's where I don't see it hurting her brand. What hurt her was that judgment. She should have just hired a lawyer for a fraction of the cost, people.
Exactly.
Won't be like her.
Yeah, so I'm going to get off topic with the questions that the producer has sent me. But okay, say for instance, this happened to this girl, right? And now she has to pay this one. Well, it did happen to her. She has to pay this 1.75 million. If she doesn't have it, can she file bankruptcy?
I mean, I don't do bankruptcy, so I'm gonna say, right, I don't practice bankruptcy, so that's not really my area of expertise.
Yeah.
But whether or not she can, I'm gonna say I don't see why she can't file for bankruptcy.
Would she be forced to pay this judgment? That's what I'm.
The question is going to be whether or not she's able to distinguish this debt through a bankruptcy, and that is just going to
gotcha.
Bankruptcy court. Yes, she can go file it, but whether or not the judge will let her dissolve this debt is going to be something different. And I don't know that. I don't even think no one would know that, but the judge and the facts of her case. But yeah, no, get your judgment. As a matter of fact, you got me thinking of a judgment I need to go and press somebody for.
Yeah. I personally think that this is going to be bad to her reputation and well, not bad because people love bad shit. They love stupid shit like this. Okay. But it may be bad for her reputation with brand deals. Okay. Not with the public. The public, they'll eat it up. But with brand deals, I don't foresee her getting too many brand deals. They like their influences a little bit squeaky clean. And
if she went over to Slutty Vegan, she probably could get a deal. If she went over to a lingerie, she probably could get a deal. It just depends. Somebody might be all for it.
You okay? It depends on the brand. Yeah. So child. She they might have her conduct a class on how to take somebody's man. You know what? After all that, I hear that her and Tim are not even together anymore. Yeah, after all of that.
Well, I mean, if he was gay for pay. I mean, he was straight for pay. He was with her for pay. And so once we got that judgment, I mean, I would imagine the jig is up. I'm going back to my wife and kids. That's probably where he at. Now she got the money. Now he is where the money resides. So he probably would
wonder if this was all a plot to get her money.
Somebody, the comments be commenting.
Yeah, what are they saying out there in our Facebook street?
Probably set her up. Somebody
What are
said
they saying? 150 black men, what? Yeah, yeah, Amira, I agree. Now bankruptcy court, because I don't see her being able to pay this. And remember the whole situation with Tasha K and Cardi B? Okay.
you go to
Cardi
bankruptcy
B
court,
sued
guys.
Tasha K for $7 million she had to pay up. So was she able to pay that? No, but I think she may have had to file bankruptcy, restructure her assets in order to pay off
Make
that.
payments. They don't some debt you can get rid of, some debts they don't. They really set them up with their payment plan.
Got you. Got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Whew, that's sad. That's
Make
sad.
payments. So
Yeah.
Tasha K got payments to Cardi B. She didn't get rid of Cardi B's debt. And the real reason why people will file for bankruptcy is because I'm about to lose my house. I'm about to lose my car. Once you file bankruptcy, that stops all the creditors. That
Yeah.
stops them being able to come in. And then you go into bankruptcy court. They restructure and reorganize your debt in something that's manageable for you. Now, I'm not a bankruptcy expert, but this is what I think happens. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They structure and reorganize and remanage the debt. And so the person is making payments and some to each different creditors. That's
Right.
what happens. People still it don't just go away.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I think some debt may, but some debt they still have to pay. They just have a payments that is supposedly something that they can manage.
Right. Exactly. So this whole friendship thing, manager thing, again, it's a very muddy type of situation that they're both in. My question to you is, do you think marriage couples should have boundaries with their friends or of the opposite sex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, I just got a message from our process server. We got service on another lawsuit. I be suing them and suing them and suing them, baby.
You're the best, suing them and suing them and suing them. Wow. Suing them and suing them and suing them. Wow. But to answer that question, I really do think that married people should have boundaries on the opposite sex. I know, for instance, like me growing up, my stepfather and my mother, they used to have like little car parties or fish fries and things like that. And they used to invite their little married friends over and everything like that. But let me tell you something. After that party was over, nobody saw each other. That was it. Okay. The husband wasn't going around, seeing my mom or anything like that. If my mother did speak with the wife, it was over the phone. That was it. But Fridays, ever so often, they will all get together and have this great friendship. Now, I mean, if things did happen and I remember one of them had surgery, one of the husbands had surgery, and my mother and my stepfather went over there to help out. That was it. But other than that, no, they kept it very, very, very separate. So now, who do you think betray each other the most in relationships, men or women?
Ooh, I don't like I don't know.
We can skip it if you don't want to answer, but
and I'm surely not about to get into no race, no sex war on FlyNubianMoney.com.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to demonize the men and I'm not going to demonize the women. I think that we're all learning and we could, learn how to come together more, but we're all doing the best that we can.
Yeah. So Mary, as a lawyer, how can people protect their marriage a little bit more legally? Especially in this case, knowing that this girl they were friends and they were business partners. How could Akira have protected her marriage a little bit more, if anything?
Well, I think it's in the beginning, prenup agreements, a prenuptial agreement, while you're in love, outline the terms of what may happen if we're no longer in love with each other.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to make sure that I'm protected and cared for and you're protected and cared for in the event that we do become enemies further down the line? I understand, like for instance, when that woman, when she decided to drop out of school, become a stay-at-home wife and devote everything to him. before she made that step, she should have said, what safeguards are you going to put in place for me if I'm going to do this? If I will do this for you, but what are you going to do for me?
Yeah. I
You
think a
know,
lot of people need to start being a little bit more smart with their prenup agreements. And I think I personally think that everybody should have a prenup agreement. People
I
think I'm
do.
crazy.
I don't.
Yeah,
Everybody.
everybody should have one.
Look at Portia Williams, and Simon Guobadia from the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That was a situation where the prenup really did help the female.
It
It was
did.
the prenup that kept her in her house. It was the prenup that made sure she had her alimony. And people could say she was a gold digger, and poor Simon, you got all of that. But you know what Simon got from her? Fame. And
Okay, because we didn't know who Simon was before Portia.
even though that they have split up, she can't take her fame back from him. She has given this man a platform that he now uses against her. Okay, he uses the platform that she gave him against her. So thank God she was at least wise enough to make sure that she put a price tag on that. So even if she upgraded this dude. He looked better. His teeth, his whole body, he looked like a whole different kind of man. So she really, and I think she loved him. We all know, I watched the show. And so Portia was looking for love. And so she felt like she had found her Prince Charming. I think when she realized he was a scammy, she did what she had to do to protect herself. And that
She's a lover girl. She's a lover girl. She's one of those girls that goes into relationships and they just opens up. You know, I used to be that way. Not anymore.
No, you do not let the world take your innocence. No, ma'am.
I had to, Mary.
No, ma'am.
I had to.
Nope. I'm not gonna let you do it, because you know why? With age comes wisdom, and you make better decisions. You make better decisions on who you choose to, the company you keep. You make those better decisions, but don't ever let somebody harden your heart. You're too beautiful for that.
Yeah, my heart is not hard. No. It's not hard, but it's just a little bit more observant. I'm not as love Yolanda how I used to be now. Yeah.
I will take observing. But when you observe God in flesh, baby.
Okay, girl.
When you observe God walking in flesh, I want that heart to open. That's all I'm saying. I want the heart and the legs to open. Now clock it.
You said clock. You said heart and legs. You're the best, girl. Anywho, before we wrap up, and because I know our producer is flying out. So what are your last thoughts, or any thoughts that you may have regarding this whole entire situation? What are your thoughts?
You know, love is a beautiful thing. It is the most highest emotion that we can achieve. God is love, and it's something that we should all experience and be able to experience with one another.
Yeah,
I think that if we, and for people who are hurt in love and then don't let it make you hard. Let it make you become wise. Like Portia, like someone said, Deborah Will Win says Portia learned from the first marriage. Yeah, so she wasn't gonna so you just become wiser in how you relate to people, but she still was open to love. And even though her last relationship didn't work, she sure walked away with a house and some alimony. So your girl did good. Okay. Yeah. Never, you just never lose with having an open heart for love. You will never lose. Yeah. And I will never let this world take that away from me.
Yeah. I like that you said
that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into your very last thought. But I just wanted to hear your whole thoughts about the overall story. But I like that you said that, because I do think that we should not be hardened so hard that we don't allow love to come in. Because if it does come knocking at your door, are you going to recognize it? Are you going to recognize it? Yeah. So my thought process is this: I really feel like how you get them is how you keep them. If you get this man in a deceitful way, he's going to leave you in a deceitful way, and vice versa. If a man gets a woman in a deceitful way, she will leave him in a deceitful way. So yeah, in friendships, that is just, please vet who your friends are, and please be careful who you trust. You know, Mary, you and I, we always talk about the energy of this earth, you know, and I really feel that you can really feel and vet people out just based off their energy. You know who's good for you and who's not, just based off their energy. Just sit with yourself, be open, and the universe will tell you who you should keep around and who you should let go. So, anywho, Mary Dean, tell us where we can find you, boo boo.
You can always find me at thewallstreetlawyer.com. You can support my movement at blackwallstreet.com. I'm across all social media at The Wall Street Lawyer and at blackwallstreet.com, DOTCOM, all spelled out.
Yes. Also, tell us about those books you got, girl.
Which
You
books?
got a whole bunch of books you be promoting.
Well, you know what? Yes, the one that I wrote, Black Wall. You know, which book?
You.
This book? You mean
Yes.
this one right here?
Yes.
BlackWallStreet.com, how to build a thriving Black business using the laws of the universe. Because God is first, you know. So, you know, I say if there's anything that I could give my people, we are a spiritual people. We're a spiritual being, human experience. And so I start the book off with the laws of the universe, the law of attraction, the law of giving and receiving. And so the first part is the laws of the universe. The second part is the laws of the land. It goes over all your legal, insurance, financial, and tax systems that every business needs to lift that business to the next level. And then the last part is the laws of you and how to apply those laws to your life. You can find it on Amazon, Mary Dean Esquire at thewallstreetlawyer.com, blackwallstreet.com, support, endorsed by Iyanla Van Zandt. Dr. Iyanla Van Zandt.
That's right. And guys, pick it up because Black Friday is, I think it's next weekend. Pick it up for Black Friday. Support the sister, okay? And give it to a friend. Give yourself a copy and also give a friend a copy, okay?
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, guys, I am Yolanda Spivey, the insurance broker to the stars. You can reach me at www.mwhitney.com. I do all kinds of insurances. If you need your pinky toe insured, I can insure it. Mary D, if you need that law practice insured, I can insure it. Just hit me up, y'all. I got you. But guys, this story shows how boundaries, loyalty, and money all connect. Protect your household, your friendships, and your reputation because your peace and your bag depends on it. Okay? I know I'm not going to ever get caught out there. Somebody says, never. Okay? I'm always about protecting myself. With that being said, thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate it. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Hold on. I don't think our producer knows to
But do we just leave the studio?
Yeah, you should just leave, girl. We see y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.